War for the Planet of the Apes. In case you forgot which film this was, the opening spells out in big bold letters that it's a sequel to Rise, as well as Dawn. As well as the humans are cracking down on Caesar and have been chasing him through the woods for the last 2 years. You can read more about this in the book Revelations. Who has time to read? It's not super important as the film actually begins with a bunch of military dudes, and they found some apes. And they're working with some apes, but the apes they have are slaves. This guy with the crossbow is Preacher. He takes out one of the apes as the other humans shoot rockets at the gate. But the apes send out some smoke grenades and flood them with like 10 million apes. Preacher calls into the lieutenant they've been captured, along with some randos and Red the gorilla. Caesar hops in, now basically fluent in English, and says, "Why you Red do this?" And Red explains that he doesn't care that the humans are racist, the apes can't win forever. Even though they have every time since, so like the humans' best option is just wait them out. Big C is like, whatever, and sends them all home. Maurice isn't super comfortable with English, so he goes back to signing, and this albino gorilla is winner. Later, 2 apes, Blue Eyes, Caesar's son, and Rocket show up, and they say they found a new homeland they're going to. But Caesar decides to pop a squad and wait until later. But later that night, Caesar finds something and thinks it's kinda sus. Turns out it's really sus as it's humans. And Caesar finds a radio saying that King Kong's been taken down. He heads back to his waterfall room, finding the lieutenant is Woody Harrelson. He couldn't tell 2 apes apart, so he took out Caesar's wife and son. So Caesar retaliates, but he gets let go. Dang. He seeks comfort in his other son Cornelius, and the next morning he's gonna pony up, drop his son off at daycare, and go shoot the human in the face.
I find him. The soldiers will all come after me. That may give you the best chance to get out of the woods.
But Maurice, Rocket, and the gorilla Morris are going along with Caesar. Their first encounter leads them to a village. Caesar heads in, but oh no, there's a human. He tries pulling his gun, but there's a reason they call him Quick Draw Caesar. And he's got an Alpha and Omega tattoo, showing that he's a part of a very mediocre franchise. So now it's time to loot. And they find a mute little girl. They found him like this. Maurice wants to keep her, but Caesar says no pets allowed, but Maurice is like, please. So they bring her. Oh no, a new village. And that traitor Winter is with them. So the boys somehow sneak in, and they interrogate Winter, saying that they think that Red might be in the right here, dude. There's a Northern Army coming. He tries to alert in security, so they gotta shut him up, accidentally strangling him to death. Whoops. Then later at night, Koba appears and taunts Caesar, saying that Ape killed Ape. It was all just a dream. So now they're gonna tail the humans into the snow when they hear shots, and they've killed some humans. But one of them's a zombie. He can't talk, so they just double tap him. But now we're lost. And someone tries stealing their horses. So they tail him, just for it to turn out that it's an ape, named Bad Ape. Because he's been called that so much, he thought that was his name. He escaped from a zoo with the simian flu, independently from everyone else, and he has perfect English. And he found some MREs. But he really does not want to go back to the place he found them. After some convincing, they head to the human zoo, and they have crucified apes because reference. And look at that, they just leave horses laying around like that. Wait a minute. And they get jumped by humans. This leads into a tussle, and oh no, what's his name? The gorilla got taken out. Dang. So Caesar thinks this was a bad idea bringing them along, so he decides to head in by himself, trying to free someone from the crucifixion, and he gets captured immediately. He wakes up with the lieutenant. He forces him to recap about his wife and son and tosses him into the concentration camp. Next day, Alpha and Omega humans start screaming and hollering, psyching themselves up. Woody Harrelson walks out shaving and gives them like a little Pope hand wave, which sends them into a frenzy beating apes so they can work. While building the wall, there's some workplace hazards. Clearly the workers' fault, so they get Red, who they call Donkey, to whip them. But Caesar yells that that's bad, which starts a little mutiny. So they whip him and the other guy to shut up, and it gets really intense. So the apes decide, hey, we love work, whatever. So they put Caesar on the cross. The boys are watching, and Bad Ape doesn't know sign language, which is fun detail and leads to some comedy, which you either kind of think it lightens the mood or you hate it. Later, Big sees with Woody Harrelson and he realizes that they're building defenses. The Northern Army that's coming is not going to join him. So Woody explains that the simian flu has affected everybody, and now it's mutated, giving people bloody noses, making them dumber, making them talk less good. So they gotta kill everyone who's infected, no exceptions, including Woody's son. Caesar tries jumping him, but it doesn't go too good for him. Back with the boys, they find a new way in by accident. And Woody realizes maybe he shouldn't starve and dehydrate everyone, so he gives them food, including Caesar. Well, he didn't ask for how he wanted the water, so Caesar's freezing and starts hallucinating about Kobe. Then the little girl literally just walks in, the spotlights hit her and everything, no one cares. She walks up to the gates and gives some food and water and even a doll of encouragement to Caesar. Then the patrol finally notices, so Rocket sneaks in to take her place. He gets beaten, thrown in jail, and beaten again. Next day, it's time to put together a plan for the Great Ape Escape.
What? Oh, no. No, no. No, no, no. Okay.
So they start drilling under the base. Oh yeah, they didn't name the little girl yet. Luckily, she has a car brand.
Nova. Nova.
Because reference! Honestly, this is really cute. And they find their way in. But no, the pipes are filling, so they have to change up the plan a little. But it still leads into phase 2, where they fling... where they literally fling poop at the guard. He runs into the cell all mad about who did it. But he falls right into the trap. Now they have some cell keys. They sneak out and free the children. They plan the tunnels to not be flooded yet. But oh no, bad timing because the Northern Army has arrived. And Caesar's still pissed off, so he sneaks back in to shoot the colonel in the face. He finds him and oh no, he's fallen to the mutated simian flu and he can't duck good. So Caesar starts thinking maybe revenge isn't all that cool. So he leaves him. But Woody is conscious enough to realize what's going on and he shoots himself. Caesar escapes. The alpha males are such douchebags that instead of actually fighting the people they're at war with, they're attacking the marginalized group first. So Red starts thinking maybe I made a huge mistake. As Caesar tries to blow up an oil tanker, but he gets hit inside by Preacher. And he's about to kill Caesar until Red blows him up. Redemption. Until a human blows his brains out. But Caesar gets enough wind to blow up the oil tanker still. Escaping, they finally destroyed Alpha and Omega. The Nora army of like 10 trillion people start celebrating. But they also don't really like the apes, so they point their guns at Caesar. But luckily for Caesar, this created an avalanche. But being apes, they just climb the trees to safety. Caesar and his people wander the desert for a while until they find the Promised Land. Caesar has somehow survived several days with an arrowhead driven into his side, but his time runs up. This is a fantastic film. The cinematography and CGI in this film is gorgeous. It's a tale about humanity literally becoming more primal as the apes are becoming more human and empathetic. And there's plenty of really intense scenes, like I joke that this place is an ape concentration camp, but I'm not really joking. Bad Ape is a comic relief character, and I can get that some people might find him annoying, but I think he adds just enough levity to the film. Noah's actress does a great job communicating without having to speak, and I don't know, she's just cute. Overall, this is a great film. There's nothing much else to say, but 10 out of 10. If you like this video, hit the like button, share with your friends, comment your thoughts and opinions, and hit the subscribe button if you're new.